They can see our sick faces on the video, Anna, if they want to.
This is the face of a sinus infection covered in makeup.
Yeah. And I have no makeup on and I have the flu. So
Yeah.
if you want to see what I look like when I'm sick, you just go watch the video.
Are you working a fever over there? What's happening? Give us your symptoms.
I got the chills. Yeah.
Those are alarming.
I went 26 hours without eating because it started off with my muscles started getting sore. I started getting like some acidy, something in my stomach. And man, I was barely making it through my phone calls yesterday. I had to do 2 podcasts. And when I stopped the second podcast, when I was uploading them, I was laying on the concrete floor in my gym in between, like pressing this button and saying, oh, I just got to lay down. I'm not going to make it. And I went upstairs and Serena goes, what are you on for dinner? I said, I'm going to bed. I'm sick. I'm going to bed. And for the next 7 or 8 hours, I contemplated throwing up, but it never came up high enough to where I could throw up. And I'm like, I haven't eaten since breakfast this morning. And I had 3, 4, 5 eggs, something like that. And that was it. And the next time I ate was at around 1 o'clock today. So that's like a 27, 28 hour fast or something. And all I had was some broth with chicken in it.
Yeah.
So that was it.
Had you lost your appetite or you were just scared you were going to boot?
No, somewhere during the middle of the night, when I got up to go to the bathroom to pee, I was kind of dizzy and disoriented, but I went back to bed. That's when I took some Advil. Serena came in the room to go to bed and she goes, do you need anything? I said, can you just put a couple of Advil on my nightstand with some Tagamet? Because I had an empty stomach. You got to take that with something on a completely empty stomach. Mm-hmm. And at 4 or 5 in the morning, I got up to go to the bathroom and I came back and I took those Advil and that started to get the chills, the fever, the muscle ache to subside to a level where I can work today. I did a bunch of phone calls today. It was that kind of thing. I haven't worked out. I was going
to say, do you work out when you're sick? What's your rule of working out when you're sick?
Listen,
you guys, we're doing fitness right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate. And by the way, it's a good thing because we have thousands, if not tens of thousands of Mike Rowe.
Tens of millions, maybe.
Millions of millions listening to this show because I was on Mike Rowe's podcast. We'll talk about that in a minute, but we have a lot
hundreds of people.
Folks, yes, this is a fitness show, but during this show, what you have to understand is I talk about me because, hell, I'm a complete narcissist. Who else corroborate that? who else would have a podcast with over 2,000 episodes, except the guy who's a complete narcissist? Am I a narcissist? I mean, you know me.
I don't know. Let me find the checklist online and let's take the quiz and see if you're a narcissist. And by the way, if you're a narcissist, then that means I'm the codependent who's supporting a narcissist. So we have our own messed up relationship that I don't think we could even dismantle if we tried.
Is there a quiz that you can take?
I'm going to find out.
Okay.
I'm going to find out on the internet.
I'm going to keep talking about
I know there's a sociopath one, but I don't think you're a sociopath.
By the way, today I'm going to be talking about Arthur Jones, and he's the guy who invented Nautilus machines.
Yes.
And we got other stuff to talk about. So everyone wanted to know a little more about Nautilus. So I was kind of there at the beginning. I was in the weightlifting world when all this Nautilus stuff started coming around, and it was intriguing. And yes, a lot of it works. Some of it is not going to work if you don't do it right. And now the Nautilus machines today are not what they were back in the 70s. So there's a lot to talk about. But yeah, I haven't eaten mice today. I have the chills. I have all that stuff. So I took another round of Advil about a half an hour ago to kind of get that to subside so I can do this show. And then once the show is over with, I shall go back to bed because I have to drive to Dulles at 4 o'clock in the morning. So if anyone thinks that, oh yeah, that guy just makes a lot of money. He just sits around and he makes that, what do they call it? The passive income.
You mean the thing that doesn't exist?
The thing that never exists. I never seen.
Never existed, guys.
Yeah. I love, well, it got started with those guys going, well, you can make passive income, just set it and forget it. that was a thing going around on the internet around 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
And people, what was his name? He's still.
Kaplan. Well, his brand is Smart Passive Income. And he's smart about it because he's actively doing it. Yeah.
He was doing that, but the other guy that, did all kinds of fitness books and everything else, he was proving that you cannot be a fitness guy and do fitness books and, the 3-day diet, the 4-hour work week,
Tim Ferriss.
Tim Ferriss. He's another one that was pushing that you can hack your whole life, do your job. Was it
from the beach?
It was called
the job from the beach.
Yeah. And I remember at the time I read that book and I went, okay, if anyone tries this, you're going to get fired. If you go in and tell your boss, I'm just not going to, I can get everything done in 4 hours. You guys keep paying me for 40. I'm going to hit the beach. I'm paraphrasing, by the way. But Tim Ferriss has also done a lot of good things. So I don't know where I am on Tim Ferriss. People.
I like him. I'm a Tim Ferriss fan. I'm a Tim Ferriss stan, as the kids say. But here's the thing, though. I have tried to take the computer or the phone to the beach. And by the way, your family doesn't like it when you do that, when you work from the beach. Well, they want your undivided beach attention, and they want you to get in the ocean and get sand in your crotch because they're not happy until you're fully participating. That's on them.
Well, Anna, I have a thing where, I'm always going, where's my phone? Because what I do is if I notice, like my phone's right here right now, I notice that if I'm leaving the room and I pick it up to take it with me, like I'm in the old Wild West where you need to bring your gun everywhere.
Gotta bring your gun. Bring your iPhone, son.
What I'll notice, if I notice that I'm picking it up, and even more so picking it up, and while I'm walking, I'll look at it, I will take it and just toss it. This thing has like a rubber. Every time I buy a phone, I have them put the rubbery thing on it. Now, I don't smash it on the ground, but I'll throw it like on the staircase that I'm walking up. I'll just throw it. I'll just drop it, right? Or if I see a chair, or wherever there's a soft landing, my yoga mat stays on the floor. A lot of times when I can't find my phone, it's either on my chair in my office or my yoga mat, because I know that it'll get a soft landing there. Whenever I find myself doing that, I get rid of it. We all notice people, they're in front of us in line at the stoplight. There was a guy today, not just
every day. It's every time you drive a car.
When I went to get my soup, there was a guy in front of me. I was the second one in line. There's another row of traffic over here. No, I'm the third one in line. So the car in front of him took off. All of these cars took off. And obviously he was sitting there either having a stroke or reading a cell phone. Turns out he was reading a cell phone. I had to give him the honk. I tell people all the time, you can't be ruled by these screens, right? Whenever I'm done with these podcasts, I walk away. Now I got to do it. I walk away from these screens, right? I don't stay in front of these screens. Whenever I'm talking to anyone
too much
on the phone,
he's trying to find a song right now and also finish a sentence.
Yeah, that's what
happens. Can a narcissist do that? I don't think so.
I don't think so. But that's how the whole thing works, right? I don't keep these phones near me or around me or anything else because it's just not a good idea, right?
I just feel like we could all agree as a society that if you're the first at the stoplight, if you get the honor and the privilege of being the first at the stoplight, you get to go first, right?
Yeah.
You don't check your phone because you get the stoplight first. You know what I mean? You don't get the best of both worlds. You don't get to be first at the stoplight and check your phone.
You get to be the leader of the pack.
You get to go first. You get to zoom out. And you can't zoom out if you're on your phone.
You're what we call in the real world a muckety muck.
Yeah.
You're the head muckety muck.
You probably have some smart passive income happening.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Right now, you have what no one else has. You have power.
Passive income is power.
Passive income is power. Now, folks, if you're new to this, if you're one of the new Mike Rowe listeners, what happens is my brain only hears songs all day long.
And then
Again,
you're going to tell us if you work out while you're sick. That's
yeah.
what and I'm here to remind him the fitness of what we're talking
Anna
about.
has no other job than to remind me, because I have a tendency to meander. Whenever I say a word, or Anna says a word, or anyone in my life says a word, the song stays stuck in my head until I can actually listen to the song. Don't even get me started on Gilligan's Island.
Oh boy. No, that's the palate cleanser. That's what you think of when you're trying to get a song out of your head.
Yes.
You think of the Gilligan's Island theme.
Oh, yeah.
And
over the years, we have played songs now. Anna, we're not going to talk right now so that Bill can clear. And by the way, if you guys want to know who Bill is going to have to clean this out of the YouTube video, because you see, even though this is a free show on YouTube, and even though I'm playing this from YouTube, if I play this during my free show, that's a violation of YouTube. Yet someone else put this up for free on YouTube, and that's perfectly legal. I'm just trying to get you guys to understand how the new world works. But I said the term walk away, and I can't live until I hear a piece of that. All right, here's the thing, Anna. Yeah. So Bill, cut it right here. Here's the deal. Did I start listening? Did I think of walk away and said the word walk away because I played some Joe Walsh at the beginning of the show? Or was I just think, because I didn't play walk away at the beginning of the show, right?
No.
I played Turn to Stone.
Yeah.
Right. So how does that work? Was I thinking Joe Walsh and that he wrote a song called Walk Away?
No, we said walk away. Somebody verbally said it earlier. See, now you're expecting me to remember 5 minutes ago, and I'm starting to develop Dory brain. I can't. It's too much, Vinny. I can't keep you on track and also remember all the things.
No, all of it is just. See, Anna, that's you. You don't want to talk about it. You just want to turn your pretty head and walk away.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just head in the sand.
Yeah, just head in the sand all the time. Like a big old ostrich. Now I got to play the damn Partridge Family. You made me say ostrich. No, I'm not gonna do that to Bill. The guy
that's a partridge, not an ostrich.
Yeah, but partridge.
Those are two completely different birds from two completely different continents.
Yeah, but all right. Partridge ends in idge. Ostrich ends in idge.
Itch. No, it ends in itch. Ostrich.
It's close to idge. It's close enough. Come on.
You wouldn't be a rapper because that shit don't rhyme. Okay.
Oh, I can rhyme it.
So do you work out when you're sick or not?
No, not this time. Now, if I had the common cold and it was like, look, if you have strep throat or something like that, no. But if I have a cold, I will work out. The only difference is if my sinuses are all blocked up, I wouldn't be doing my zone 2 with my mouth closed the entire time, because it might be the only thing where I can get oxygen into my lungs.
For the new people, the zone 2 is cardio.
It's cardio. It's between 70 and 80% of your aerobic capacity. And let's give them a quick way. Let's do you, Anna.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say you wanted to find your zone 2 and you don't want to go.
It's really changed over the past 10 years, by the way, my zone 2.
A little bit, but let's say you didn't want to go out to a lab and spend $300.
I don't want to do that.
You want to get it for free, folks?
Yeah.
Here's the roundabout way. Now, this can vary a bit. Take a guy like me who's been an aerobic athlete my entire life, even though I'm turning 60 this year. Mine is much higher. Serena's is a bit higher. It can change, because of you making major changes. And when you do ultra athletic events and stuff like that, you are a little different. But just in general, Anna, how old are you?
48.
Okay. So you take the number 180. Now, what number did I just say, Anna?
180.
I said 180. Did I say 220?
No, I thought 220 was your maximum heart rate, Vinny.
No, that's not your maximum heart rate.
I have never heard this conversation before.
Yeah. 220. They used to say, hey, if you want to know your top heart rate, take 220 minus your age, and that's your top heart rate. Right.
Then you have to do another math calculation, and we don't like that.
Right. So we take
one math.
Yeah, one math. We take 180 because that's an average.
And then I'm going to subtract 48.
Take out 48. And what do you come up with?
132.
Okay. But let's just say you're not a couch potato, but let's say you were a couch potato. Okay. You haven't done anything for years. The only walking you do is to your car and to your cubicle and back home. And maybe you're a smoker and this kind of thing. Okay. We can take 5 points away from that.
So it would be 127.
Yeah. But you're not that person. As a matter of fact, you're an exerciser. You get out, you do it. You walk around, you jog, what have you.
I hike up the hills.
And folks, you guys don't know this about Anna, but she was a ballerina when she was a kid. She's been a lifelong athlete.
I have to, but I really have to slow down on the hills because it's very hilly. We got the rolling hills here, and I have to really slow down to stay in zone 2. And Lauren is always like, come on, you can do it. I'm like, no, I know I can do it. I'm slowing down to stay in zone 2, but he always tries to shame me for going slow. Like I can't do it. I'm like, I got you beat in the cardio department, friend.
No, look, just to let the audience know, when Cotty Cott and I were training for Mont Blanc a few years ago, he came out to train with me. We were on Mount Wilson, and every time his heart rate went out, I had the watch in my arm, but it was on his.
Mount Nancy Wilson.
Yeah, we love Nancy.
You're gonna have to find a song now.
Oh, you know what?
You were on Mount Wilson with Cotty Cod.
Oh
boy.
Okay. You know what?
Yeah. Do you want me to tell a story while you're
right? Here we go. Now, here's the deal. We played this one recently, but we're talking about mountains. Bill, you're gonna have to cut this out. Jesus Christ. I think Bill's gonna quit.
No, he'll just text me how annoyed he is. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll manage it.
Got all the new people going, does he ever get to anything? Yes, I'm trying to keep podcasting interesting, folks. There's a reason we were able to go past 2,000 shows and keep it interesting. It's because we try to have fun with a subject that's generally not funny or fun. It's fitness. So at any rate, you take Miss Anna Vocino, and she is in shape. So instead of 132, we're going to add 5 points. So that's 137.
Right.
Okay. Here's the
I kind of settle in around 135. If I keep it around 135, I feel like that's good. That's a round number for me.
Right. Now, what does that mean? Okay. Does she have to get on an elliptical machine or get out there on the mountain with her husband and immediately get to 135? No. Any number below that is fine. If she wants to stay at 115, 120, sometimes I get on my spinner and I'll just stay at 120, 125 for an hour and then kick it up to 130 and keep it there for an hour and then cool down and leave. It doesn't, you could be below it, not above it. Now you're going to say, Vinny, you're almost 60. How is yours 130? I've been tested. I know where mine is. And I was an athlete my entire life. I played D1 football. I've been working out since I'm a child. I had a pro mountain bike contract, what have you. I've ridden every ultra race you can ride. Mine is a little different. My DNA works a little different than a lot. There's a lot of people like me, but that's why mine is up a little higher than it would be from this test. Now, what does that mean? When Anna gets to 137, does she have to stop it right? If she went to 138, 139, she's fine. But you don't want to get much higher than that because you start moving into zone 3. And in zone 3, you're not building your heart any more than you would be building it in zone 2. In zone 2, you're only burning fat. Your body is conserving its own blood sugar. So you won't feel ravenous like you would from going to you go to a HIIT class.
The boot camp.
Camp.
Where they really overwork you.
You go to the box where they hand you a sledgehammer and you beat on a tractor tire for a while or whatever you do, right? And you do all this stuff. All that stuff will put you in zone 3 and zone 4. And that's not the worst thing in the world. But what happens is you burn a lot of blood glycogen and you go, oh my God, I need a muffin right now. I need something right away. We're trying to keep you away from that. right? We just want you to burn the fat, and it helps build up your mitochondria. It's good for your heart. It's good for your lungs. It's good for everything. And I've used that method to do ultra events and everything else. And as you get stronger, you'll notice your speed will increase, yet your heart rate won't. That means your heart is getting stronger to work in the same area. Think of yourself as a diesel engine versus a gas engine. If you can see if you're watching a video, gas pistons move really, really fast, right? And you probably got to get a gas engine up to 3,500, 4,000 RPMs to get it up into its torque zone. Whereas a diesel engine, it's big, long, slow strokes, and you could get maximum torque at 1,500 RPMs, maybe half, right? We're trying to make your body a big, strong diesel engine.
So
right?
The stronger you get, like your heart and the better you get at zone 2, you still keep it at that rate. You don't change it.
No, you stay at zone 2, yet you'll notice that your husband's not waiting for you as much on the mountain. You're going to move a lot faster. Yeah. But you know how that, that's.
But he's sprinting on purpose because he likes to sprint up the mountain because he wants to feel that feeling of like having exhausted himself.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm doing zone 2 because Vinny says it makes your heart stronger and you're in fat burning, which is honestly,
yeah.
Let's be honest. We all want to burn the fat.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So my typical thing with zone 2 is that it takes a little while to build up to it if I'm on the bike or if I'm walking on flat. It's obviously faster to build up to it when I'm going up hills.
Right.
But I've noticed that around between 15 to 20 minutes, sweat starts pouring. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then it just keeps going and it feels good. And it's not like, the thing I like about zone 2 is you don't feel like you're taxing yourself, but it feels like it's working, right? If you're sweating.
No, but sweat doesn't equal exercise. I mean, I can sit in the sauna.
Is that just an individual thing then? I just happen to start sweating at 15
whenever your body starts to overheat, wherever that is. Again, I can tell you.
I thought it had something to do with the fat burning.
As a party trick, if I got on the spinner or the Concept 2, which is sitting right next to me, I can tell you right when I get to 7.5 minutes. Because
you start sweating.
You don't see the sweat, but I feel like all of a sudden this overheating thing happens and I feel my pores opening up and they're getting ready to start sweating. And
that's a horrible party trick, by the way.
Yeah. It's
I wouldn't want to go to that party.
If someone was timing me, I can go, hey, I'm at 7.5 minutes.
Hey guys,
how did you do
check
that?
out this trick I can do.
Yeah. Yeah. Really cool trick.
It's a pretty cool trick.
Oh, the baby.
At the world's worst party.
Yeah. So that's how that works. And that's zone 2. The longer you do it, the better you are. I've had people train for marathons that way, triathlons, everything else. Anna,
the thing that gets me about it that I like is that you said that's the best way to burn fat. So why wouldn't you want to do that?
Well, you also burn fat in zone 3 and zone 4, but you start switching over to burning mostly sugar. In zone 4, you're basically burning sugar. That's why you can only stay there for a short period.
So those HIIT classes and those boot camps and those really high intensity, the CrossFit and the things where you feel like, or Soul Cycle, that's a perfect example where or the spin class where they scream at you if you don't like ramp it up to 11, Right. I guess maybe in my heart of hearts, I knew there was a reason why I hated all those things with a passion, because I just felt like I can do it, but do I want to do this? And then when I met you, I was like, okay, I'm just going to do zone 2. I'm good.
Yeah. It's all you have to do.
It's kind of counterintuitive though, because everybody out there is like, do a HIIT, do the thing. You know what I mean? Why is there so much advice for doing HIIT out there if it's not good advice?
Well, they just don't know. That's why people come here.
Well, that's true.
I don't know how else to put it.
Would you like to take your narcissist quiz?
Now, where did you find this quiz? Do we know that it's a good quiz?
It's at psychcentral.com. I looked through a few. I found one at Time Magazine, but then it wouldn't load right.
All right. So I've never taken a narcissist test.
This is too long.
How long is it?
How about this one? Psychom.com. Psychom.net.
Okay.
How accurate is it? This quiz is not a diagnostic tool. Mental health disorders can only be, listen, this is going to be a diagnostic. We're going to diagnose Vinny here and now if he's a narcissist.
Okay. So all I have to do is answer questions for you and you're going to
Yeah, it's not that many questions, actually. It's not too bad.
Okay.
The other one had too many questions, but it was probably better. But it's too long. Okay. Do you experience an exaggerated sense of self-importance that frequently involves the need to exaggerate your talents or accomplishments?
The exact opposite is the truth of that.
I'm going to say never, because I know you.
And by the way, Anna, if you think I'm answering any of this wrong,
Oh, I'll call you out.
call me out. But no, I'm the exact opposite of that.
Do you believe you are special and unique and can only be understood by or should associate with other special or high status people or institutions? By the way, your selections are never, rarely, sometimes, often, and very often.
Okay. I'm going to go with never.
Never. Yeah.
I have what some I call low self-esteem.
Do you find that you constantly have a willingness to take advantage of others to achieve your own goals? That's a never. I know that's a never.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I go out of my way to tell people.
Now, this one might be tricky.
Okay.
Do you require excessive admiration from others? From Marie, but probably nobody else.
Does your mother?
He only wants his mom to approve of him.
I mean,
That's so wrong.
I've written a book and done 3 movies to try to get my mom to love me. And
oh, Vinny, I love you, Vinny.
I don't know. No,
I'm going to say it as Mari. Vinny, you're my favorite son.
That I'm talking to right now.
No, Vinny.
All right. So,
okay.
By the way, I brought that up on Mike Rowe. I said, everyone thinks that you stole my bit. And he goes, which bit is that? I said, having your mom on the show. And I tried to explain to him, I didn't come up with that bit. I think I heard Howard Stern doing it. And he said, yeah, David Letterman. We all took it from someone else.
Yeah. When you have a mom like Mari, you got to have her on the show.
Yeah. And if you have a mom like Mike Rowe's mom,
yeah,
they're exceptional human beings.
Yes. Okay. So do you require excessive admiration from others?
As a matter of fact, I shrink whenever I'm admired for anything I do. So, wait, hang on. Even when people say to me, Anna, you've saved my life on Twitter.
Yeah.
I go out of my way to go, no. You saved your life.
Right. You're the one who did the work.
You did. I didn't do anything.
I agree.
Right. So, I mean, that can't be a true statement about me.
Are you preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love? It's quite stupid.
This is not a real test. This is not a real test, is it?
Let's just keep going. There's only a few more.
Oh, okay. No.
Okay. Do you have a sense of entitlement from others that involve unreasonable expectations of especially favorable treatment or automatic compliance with their expectations? I don't even know what that means. Okay, the next question. Do you find you are unwilling to recognize or identify with the feelings and needs of others? No.
No, I'm always recognizing and, I'm always.
This quiz is stupid.
This is not a real test.
No. This is dumb. All right. You're not a narcissist, according to SciComm.
Okay. Well, you know what? Next week, we got to do a real test. And I want you to do a little research. Find the real test, and we'll take another test.
There's so many narcissism tests.
Well, if all of those questions is how you become is whether you're not, I'm the opposite of.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I try to be a people pleaser. Look where that's gotten me.
Yeah. Well, you can please some of the people some of the time.
And let's do an ad.
Let's do an ad. Who are we doing an ad for today?
Villa Capelli olive oil.
Villa Capelli, the best olive oil on the planet. Is that the Villa Capelli you're referring to?
Yeah. Look, I use them in my product over at purevitaminclub.com. I use their product in my vitamin D3.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you something.
Yeah, go on. I think Anna uses it in her sauce over there at Eat Happy Kitchen. She uses Villa Capelli in all of her sauces. Oh, look, she went to grab a sauce. Here she comes.
I dressed up for you today.
I see that. Sexy.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the puttanesca. Look at the back.
Yeah.
Made with 100% real extra virgin olive oil from Villa Capelli.
Yeah. Written right there, folks. You put it in the camera. Look, we're not making this stuff up. We could use the cheapest olive oil on the planet in our products, but we don't.
You would never know. You would never know.
No, we have a relationship with Stephen Crutchfield over at Villa Capelli.
Yep.
And we love the product. Look, for all the new listeners, there is a thing here in the United States where with your oil, you could cut it up to 40%. Yeah. If you don't believe me, you could go look this up. You could cut it up to 40% and still call it 100%. Legally. The FDA will allow this. And you go to Whole Foods, you go to what have you, and you get your 100% pure, virgin, first press, cold press olive oil, and it's been cut as much as 40%. Can you imagine?
With seed oils, with cottonseed, canola, soybean oil, and vegetable oil. It's bullshit.
Yeah, and you would say, well, wait, how did it get it to taste like olive oil if they're cutting it almost in half? Very interesting. They add color to it to make it look like olive oil again.
Chlorophyll.
And they add a scent.
Deodorizers.
They deodorize it
agents.
to make it look and smell like olive oil because they're screwing you guys over. Villa Capelli does not do that. You'll notice it the first time you taste it. We drink it. I drink it as a, if I'm not going to, I don't have salads on most days and that kind of thing. So I'll just pour it in. And I would like to say I pour it in a shot glass, but I'm going to be honest with you. I pour it in one of my little espresso demi-tasse cups.
Yeah.
Pour it in there and just whip it back.
I have it decanted in one of those ceramic olive oil things with the spout, with the metal spout. And I take that, I don't let it touch my mouth, but I go like that. And I was trying to tell George when he needed a snack, I said, here's what you could do. You could do a shot of Villa Capelli with some salt in it. And that was the first time he had heard that. And he thought I had lost my mind. And I was like, no, do it. It's amazing. I do it all the time for a snack.
Yeah. Well, you would have to explain who George is now, but
I'm not going to explain who George is. George is somebody who's new to our way of eating.
Yeah.
In my family. And so some of the things that I take for granted that we do all the time sounds a little nutty.
George thinks she's a little nuts.
Yeah.
Okay. Villa Capelli. If you want to get the best olive oil on the planet, go to villacapelli.com and at checkout to save money. There's 3 ways to save money. Number one, if you put in promo code Vinnie, VINNIE, no wimpy Y, VINNIE, you will save what? Oh, nothing, just 10%.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. Olive oil is heavy and it can cost a lot to ship.
Right,
so I tell everyone, buy at least $115 or so. Once you get that 10% off, is gonna kick in. If you're over $99, it's going to kick in free shipping. So now that's double savings. And if you do the math, just like we were doing math about zone 2 a little while ago, we're mathematicians around here.
Yeah.
All you have to do is when you buy more, the 3-liter 10, you're going to get a savings because you're buying bulk versus if you got the little 750 milliliter bottle. Now, I get it. A lot of people like the little cute bottle that sits on the thing. But if you're a real Italian like me, you would have that big can sitting out.
Yeah. I buy 2 tins at a time, 2 3-liter tins.
Yeah. And people go, Jesus Christ, that's $200 worth of olive oil. It's in that tin. You keep it in a cool, dry place. It lasts forever. And when you're wops like me and Anna, you run through it. You just
We're greasy guineas.
We are.
By the way, wops. I will say this too. Once there's a new paradigm shift that happens once you realize, first of all, how much our food in the grocery store, you have to really be careful of what you buy. And it's disturbing because I always think to myself, well, why would people let people eat crappy things that might hurt them or isn't what they say it is? And the thing is with olive oil, once you change the way that you're cooking and you go NSNG and you cut out processed sugars and grains, you're going to use olive oil almost on a daily basis, if not every single day, whether you're making a salad dressing, a marinade, you're sauteing vegetables, you're starting the pan for some meats that you're going to saute, and it becomes something that you eat every single day. So why not have the best one? That's what I say. Spend the money on those details is where you spend your money. And
look, I tell everyone, they go fish oil. Oh, absolutely. Fish oil is something, the EPA, DHA, great. Take fish oil. I do every day. But the biggie, olive oil every day. Even, you know what? I think it's why I can have a flu and be upright and be sitting in this chair.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
Yeah, because, look, I just do what I have to do. I drink my olive oil. I take my fish oil. I just keep it going while I'm not feeling well. And boom, I'm able to sit here and yap into a mic and play some Joe Walsh. That's right.
Nautilus. You want to talk about Nautilus?
I do.
Nautilus for narcissists.
Wow, look what you did
Nautilus for not narcissists.
So, Anna, if you walk into a gym today and you see machines made by Nautilus,
yes,
that's not the original machine. That's not what Arthur Jones, the inventor of Nautilus, came up with. Kind of like Atkins, has been bastardized. The brand has been sold off. I think Nautilus actually was sold off or some other company owns it. I can't remember who and how it works. And, you could probably Wikipedia Nautilus Inc. and see who owns what. But I'm going to talk more about the man, Arthur Jones, because Nautilus became a thing in the 1970s, right when I started working out. And we would hear about this stuff. And, it was like, it was this equipment that had a cam on it that looked like a Nautilus shell. How would you say, a conch shell, if you will. So, you know how a conch shell is kind of wonky, right? It starts small and it gets big. And Arthur Jones's idea, and I've had Dr. Ben Bacecchio on this show. Maybe I should bring him back on a Friday show again, because I love talking to Ben because he's such an old timer when it comes to the equipment and all this stuff. And we could just nerd out on this stuff. Folks, if you want to hear a great Friday show, Ben Bacecchio. That reminds me, I got to tell you something after we talk about Arthur Jones. Hang on, folks. This is how the show works.
Write a note. Now, it says here on Wikipedia that Nautilus is the maker of Bowflex, Modern Movement, Nautilus.
You see, they own a bunch.
They own a lot of things now.
And I think Hammer stuff got in there too, and all the stuff. But anyway, the original stuff was there was basically weights. It was on a machine, and the pullover machine was my favorite because you sat in this machine. It looked like a spaceship. You sat back and you grabbed this bar that was hooked to a chain because all of it ran over a chain. Think about the chain on your Concept 2 machines, right? Right. And that chain would run over that Nautilus conch shell. So when you started pulling it, you see when your joints, and if I'm not explaining this in a good way, then stop me and I'll do it again. Folks, you might want to go watch the video to understand this. So when your joint, I'm doing a curling motion with my arm, right? So when your joint is all the way stretched out,
right,
you have less strength. But as you bring that joint in to make a curling motion with your arm, as you come in, your joint gets stronger and stronger because as you decrease that angle, you have more strength. As the muscle, that it's called concentric contraction. The muscle is flexing and coming in. As you come in and the joint, the angle changes, you have more strength, right? If you took a 10-pound plate, you have a 10-pound plate around there?
No, not right here. In the opposite end of the house.
If you had it and you held it down by your waist, and at the bottom, if you go very slowly, you'll notice it's harder at the bottom. As you come up, it's easier. To when you get to the top, you'll see people lifting weights and they'll go, and then it just flies.
It goes really fast. Yeah. Right?
Well, the Nautilus concept was as you got it closer and as your angles decreased, there was more weight because the Nautilus shell caused the same amount of weight to weigh more, right? So as you were bringing it in, and the whole idea was you were going to do one set to failure, or they would tell you to put enough weight that when you got to 12, you were done. And now the truth behind Arthur Jones, a lot of people, talk about this, and I'm sure there's a lot of videos on it. He was a bit of a P.T. Barnum, right? And he took a bodybuilder at one time that the guy was a bodybuilder before, and he took him again. I can't remember. I want to say it was Casey Viator or one of those guys who was out of shape for a while. And he goes, let me show you what Nautilus can do just by doing this once a week or twice a week for some ungodly short amount of time. either 30 days or 6 weeks or something. And he showed before and afters of Casey Viator or whoever the guy, I think it was
Casey Viator, Eddie Robinson, Sergio Oliva,
all big giant bodybuilding names.
Mike and Ray Mentzer.
Right. The Metzner brothers were, they all did it, but they weren't. Here's the thing. According to Arthur, these guys were only doing that. No, these guys were also working out besides using Nautilus machines. We all did. But Arthur was saying that all you had to do was do this, right?
Right. You do the sets on the machines.
One set, go to failure. And by the way,
and then you do the whole circuit, basically, right?
Yeah, you go through a circuit. Good friend of the show, Don Coddington, who, by the way, stays in perfectly good shape. Twice a week, he goes to failure. He does one set. He goes in for a whole body workout twice a week. He does one set of everything. He'll do a set of. I'm going to make it up. I don't know his whole routine. He'll do one set of bench to failure on machines. He'll do one set of lats to failure, one set of shoulders to failure, one set of legs to failure, leg presses. And the guy has a pretty phenomenal physique, right? He's now lost all of that extra fat and you can see it now.
Right.
But he's one of those believers in going to failure. And his coach in New York, Fred Hahn, who I respect highly, is one of these guys that does that. But you have to be a Fred Hahn in a gym who's on top of these people, because the first thing, human nature, if you think you're going to failure on your own and you don't have someone like Fred there, just, with the whip, proverbial whip, you're not going to do it, right? You're not going to get there. That's Fred's job, is to get you there, to get you to that failure, right? And then take the weight off of you. Even if it's a machine, you might be in a down position and then that's it, right? So there's ways to do this and it does work. And that was the beginning of Nautilus, and that's why Nautilus worked the way it did. I remember one of my favorite, back when I played football, I had, the trap muscles.
Right.
You've seen football players, they come out of your neck like that. And when you play football, folks, you have to, especially at D1 level, you have to have a really, really strong neck. And you do neck exercises all the time, but you also do trap exercises because you want to build up everything around your neck.
Right.
And I'll never forget that Nautilus shrug machine. It was like a counter. You put one on the top and one on the bottom. You would just sit there and shrug and hold it up. The burning that would go on in the top parts of your trap, because your traps run down towards your thoracic area and everything else.
Right.
But the amount of blood and pain you would feel in that area to get that done. But I wouldn't do the one set. I would always do 3 or 4 with a good 60 to 90 second break in between and just hammer that stuff because it really mattered. If I were rich, I would own a warehouse and I would go about buying all of the old Nautilus equipment, everything he ever made back in the 70s, and I would restore it to perfection, and I would work out there and only invite friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I used to love working out on that stuff. Right. I still do movements like pullovers. No one does pullovers anymore.
Wait, you were explaining the pullover. I don't know if you quite finished that.
I didn't. Part of it, you pull, it's a 2-parter. You lean back, you're sitting in a chair that's on a slant, right? Mm-hmm. And
so you're back like 30 degrees, maybe?
Right. And you have to hook yourself into a belt buckle so you don't fly off the machine. And you grab the weights out here and you pull it in, right? And you do it slowly and controlled, and you do your one set of 12.
Right.
Right. To failure. Like you're when you're getting there, you're barely getting there at the end. As a matter of fact, you were able to serve it up to yourself with your feet so that when you're done, you can use your feet to let it go back. Mm. And then after that,
I know that one.
You grabbed behind you with a pad right here. It was the first pullover machine like that where you would pull it down and you would do that. When you did those two back to back, now you're doing what's basically known as a superset. It gives you not only great muscles up around your lats, but you start seeing those serratus muscles. Those are those little finger muscles you see in the rib cage. Like if you go look at my old conch shell photo and all that, the serratus, that all comes from doing pullovers, either free weight with dumbbells laying across a bench or using.
I was going to say, so then you have to lay on the bench and do it that way.
Yeah, I do it old school. I have my dumbbells here. I have my bench over there. I do it old school right here in my gym. Folks, always make sure to do it with weights that are tight and correct. If the weights are kind of wonky and you think they could fall apart, that is going to land in your face. And for me, I don't go very heavy anymore, but I do get up into the 75, 80 pound range with one of those things. And that's enough weight to kill you. So you have to always make sure your weights are up for the chore and know what you're doing. And if you don't think you should do it in a home gym, only do it when you're in a gym out somewhere and get someone to spot you. That can be a very dangerous exercise.
Yeah.
But well worth it. Well worth it. See, even though I'm sick, now I want to go work out.
I know.
Is that weird? I
already did my 10. You know what I want to do? I want to set up the computer in front of the Pilates thing and do a thing with you where you tell me how to, because it's funny that you say that about the pullovers, because I was taking the thing, I was up and basically taking the pulley and doing this thing on the side, so it moves you.
Right.
Like that, because I really wanted to do this and I didn't know how to do it with the thing.
Do you have any situation where you can do a pull-up? Put a pull-up bar in your barn or somewhere?
We need to put it up. Lauren hates pull-ups.
Yeah, well, look, you could get good at pull-ups. I'm going to show you a device. I'm going to go grab a device right now.
Okay.
All right. So,
and then we're going to end the show.
I can't hear you.
Okay, cool. He's pretending to be in denial about ending the show, but we will end the show one day. He's got a rope. He's got a rope. Oh God, what is he doing with the rope? What is he doing with the rope?
All right, there's no rope here, Anna.
Oh, I thought you had a rope in your hand.
If someone hates pull-ups, these are really thin rubber bands, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
I bought these for Serena because she's not very heavy. And, you could just hang these from your pull-up bar. I have 2 sets. So if she's feeling really strong one day, she can just use one on each, or she can use 2, or she can use the other 2. But you could go to places, I hate to give them any credit. You could go to Rogue and Rogue Fitness. They have, some of the rubber bands are, 3, 4, 5 inches wide. Go get what you need. They show you the weight that it takes off of you, and you can start doing pull-ups that way. And as you get stronger, you use skinnier and skinnier bands until, one day you won't need a band. Period.
So I can't do the springboard that's up on the wall. I couldn't put it on the top thing. That way, 'cause that's just basically a lat pull, right?
I'm not sure that the bolts you have in the wall is going to be strong enough to hold your whole body weight. I don't know what you have.
Well, I don't. It's up on the wall, so I don't know if we get the angle because it's not overhead; it's on the wall. And so you put it in the pegs.
No, you're going to have to look around. We could talk off the air.
Okay.
You go or you could get someone to make one for you.
You get these shoulders real beefy, y'all.
Yeah. Well, look.
No shoulders.
If you want to work your lats and under your arms, you have to do pull-ups. You have to do pullovers. You have to do lat rows. Also,
too, in Pilates, you do the thing where you lay on the box and you put the resistance heavy, and then you pull. You basically laying flat, and then you're pulling against. You know what I mean? You could pull this way,
right?
You know what I mean? Or you could pull out, or you could pull down. You know what I mean? Or just pull.
All of those are helping you, but on those springs, can you get enough pull to where you're wearing it? You got to get to a point where you won't recruit new muscle cells just by moving around like you were trained a geriatric. If you want to build,
you have to do resistance.
Yeah. Well, it's all resistance, but you have to have enough resistance to get close to that failure. Right. If not, you're not doing anything. So in other words, if I got up there, let's say, I'm just going to make up numbers. Let's say I could do 10 pull-ups really easily.
Right.
Right. But if I did 12, it hurts pretty good. If I do 15, that's when I'm like, I can't even get the 15th one is ugly. Maybe the 14th one is ugly. Mm-hmm. If I always stopped at number 10,
you wouldn't get
I would look like a guy that's in pretty good shape, but you're never recruiting new muscle cells. You're never building up.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yep. That's
So
good to know.
Yeah. So the idea is to keep building up. Did that answer that question?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
I'm playing it, folks. If you go back to this past Friday, I'm playing a podcast. It was podcast number 1007. But I'm replaying it as Dr. Sarah Hallberg. She passed away.
She passed away. So sad.
Yeah. She, you know, I didn't know her very well. We spoke several times. She's not a friend. Well, I considered her a friend, you know, an acquaintance, but we spoke several times. One of the smartest people I knew. She knew that she had lung cancer for a long time. She never smoked. She was never around smokers, you know, so it was a non-smoking lung cancer type thing.
Yeah.
And she knew it was terminal, and she beat the odds for a long time and lived a lot longer than she thought she would. And she was just a zealot when it comes to pushing low carb and how it can help you and what it can do for you and so on and so forth. She will be sorely missed. She towards the end, I know she was working with Stephen Finney and Jeff Volek and Sami Inkin and all those guys over at Verta. They do an excellent job moving this science forward. Yep. And she was on staff there, and they put out a statement about her. So if you guys want to go read about her over at Verta Health, you can go do that. But man, one of the greats in this low carb community, we lost this past week. Go back, listen to that episode. Really enjoyed having her on. She also did 2 TED Talks. I think the second one was the one that went viral.
Yeah, it's a pretty damn good TED Talk.
It is. She's wearing blue pants in that one. That's the one thing I get. The one that went viral, I think she's got blue pants on.
Are you going to post a link to it in the show notes if you can?
Tallulah, post a link. There you have it.
There you have it.
Anything else, Anna? We did an ad, right?
We did a Villa Capella, yeah.
I would go on longer today, but I'm just, you see me, I'm a little.
You need to rest now. I feel like you got excited, and then now the energy's waning. We need to call it so that you can come back next week even stronger.
Folks, if you're new to this show, unlike Mike Rowe, we put out 5 shows a week. The Monday show we call the original show with Anna Vocino. She and I started this show well over 10 years ago. We've done over 2,000 episodes now. We have the Wednesday show. That's when I get on with my business partner, Andy Schreiber, and we do a little vitamin talk. And we do that on Wednesdays. On Friday, that's the show you're going to hear Dr. Sarah Hallberg. That show, we bring on luminaries. As a matter of fact, some weeks I have Anna on as a luminary because and unlike on this show where we play songs and we do a little messing around, we will just do straight talk whenever Anna comes on the Friday show. Or at least we try to.
And we talk a lot of food too then.
Yeah, we get into whatever. As a matter of fact, Anna, you haven't been on a Friday show in a while. We need to bring
let's do one next week.
Yeah, we'll bring her on again next week when I'm feeling better. So that's the Friday show. The Saturday show, some people call the most inspirational show I do because it's not about this narcissist.
For a brief window, you make it about somebody else.
Yeah, I bring people in who have had success doing NSNG, low carb, or any of it. And it really helps other people go, wow, that was me, or that is me, and I can change that. So that's always a good thing. And then we
know how like you listen to something, you're like, I want to get help with this, or I want to try that, but I have this special thing that keeps it won't work for me. I know it won't work for me.
Right.
And you hear those Saturday shows and you're like, oh, well, if they have some jank story or some crazy situation or some like certain circumstance that makes it bonkers, you trust me, you'll hear it and you'll be like, oh, I can do this too. And you can.
Most people have lost all the weight just getting my free PDF over at VinnieTortorich.com, who I keep claiming that I'm going to charge.
Got to start charging for it.
I did tell the Mike Rowe people, I said, look, I was going to start charging for this thing, but I'll wait another month. I'll give you guys a chance.
Good.
But it's coming up, folks. I will start charging for it. I've given it away for 8 years, 9 years now, whatever it's been. So And then we do a Sunday school show for kids. And we have a mommy of a 6-year-old that comes on, Miss Gina Grad. And we talk for about 15 minutes. It's a really short show because it's short attention span. It's for kids. And that's how we do it. Folks, if you want to learn how to eat not only healthy, but make it taste good, go check out Anna Vocino. She's got 2 books. One is called Eat Happy, and the second one is called Eat Happy 2. It's spelled T-O-O. She doesn't know how to spell good. Anyway, go check that out. Eat Happy and Eat Happy 2. We have both of the books around here. As a matter of fact, I keep them hanging around to give us gifts.
Yeah.
And at Christmas time, I buy a ton of them. And because I always forget to buy gifts for everyone. The problem I'm having now is I'm trying to hand that same gift to people I've handed it to a year.
They're like, thanks, we have it. We get it. You're the low carb guy. You have nothing else up your sleeve. You should give him some of your coffee.
Yeah, I've tried that, but then it looks like I went to my own pantry and pulled my coffee.
That's true.
Anna Vocino also has Eat Happy Kitchen. If you want some of the best gravies in the world, you get the puttanesca, you get the marinara. She's got the pink crema. And every now and then she'll do a specialty sauce like the pumpkin marinara she did last Christmas.
Yeah, we're going to launch the spicy marinara coming out soon. But right now,
you have something brand new, right? Now,
by the time this comes out, these guys will be
turn it. Taco. Yeah.
These guys, I don't have the barbecue dust with me. These guys will be blended, the spice mixes. These are little
just cans, right?
Canisters.
All right. So
check out those cans, Vinny.
Anna, so let me ask you this. If I take the taco seasoning, like I do my taco seasoning now, just sprinkle it on my ground beef, it's going to give me that good, because people are asking me.
You don't have to make the homemade. I give the recipe for homemade that I've been making for 25 years in my first book. Yeah. And then somebody said to me, it might have even been Jackie Jones, because she makes it in bulk in like giant mason jars. She makes it in bulk.
Yeah.
And she goes, I can't wait. One day you're going to come out with taco seasoning and then I don't have to make it anymore. And I was like, it's not that hard to make. By the way, every single thing that I make, you can make on your own. And I have the recipe available for free. You know what I mean? Or taco seasoning is in the book, so you might have to spring for the book. But I'm making these because I want things to be even easier, and I want there to be no excuses, and I want you guys to save time and be able to feed your families and be able to trust the food that you have. Just like with Vinny's nut butters, he wants you to be able to trust a snack that you grab that you can eat.
Yeah.
By the way, I had one this morning on my drive back from Santa Barbara.
You know, I might have one tonight because I haven't really eaten a whole lot, and I might just go grab one of those, folks.
Anyway.
So go check out everything Anna Vocino is doing at Eat Happy and Eat Happy Kitchen. If you want to check me out, you can go to VinnieTortorich.com. Before you go to Amazon, bookmark it, use it every time. It puts a little coal on the fire, and it gets our train down the track. We're able to keep the show free. We also have a super fan page at VinnieTortorich.com. It's kind of like PBS. You guys get this show for free, but it costs me a lot to run it. I don't want to ever stop doing this show. As I tell everyone, I don't make money on this show, so I don't really have to do it. So I do it because I like to help people. Again, is that a narcissist?
I don't think so.
So you can go check that out. But I'm going to turn off